Hello, welcome to Design Time. I'm Jackie Lacey. We thought we would take a moment because of the beginning of the year and being the time of the year that it is, most of you are probably getting ready to attend market and look at your purchases for the coming holiday season 2019-2020. So we thought we would go over some of those best practices to get yourself prepared for a market and what purchases you're going to make so that you have not only the information to have a good market experience, but also to buy smart. In the market today, you cannot take a chance on getting things that either you can't sell, you don't know what to do with, or that just don't make sense to your particular region. So as we walk through the showroom, we're going to talk a little bit about some of the trends that you're going to find at market this year, as well as some of the best practices to get yourself prepared. One of the things that I like to do to prepare for market is to make sure that I've reached out and I've printed off a copy of any of the trend reports that I use for my own purchases for my market. Now remember, a trend report is done so that it can cover several different markets. So you want to make sure that you take that report and then you break it down as to what makes sense for your market. As we know, each importer, developer, or marketing company cannot do specific reports for all regions. So we have to create something that encapsulates most of the trends that you're going to see that are adaptable wherever you go. So apply those trends to your market, and you have to be the one to decide what works best for you. One of the things that you're going to see at market this year is red. Red, 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 red. It's everywhere. It's in the berries. We're going to see it in fixtures. We see it on the backdrops. We see it in plaid. We see it in solid. We see it in print. We see it in glass. It's everywhere. Red is strong. Now, red is always a great color for the holiday season, but it's especially true this year because it's also being used as a secondary accent color. So you have that beautiful, bright, vibrant red that you can see everywhere around us in this particular story that we're in, but you can also find it as a darker, deep, rich color, as a lighter lipstick red color, even crossing over to some of that red-orange color. One of the other things that you want to pay close attention to is the combination of surfaces and textures. And just using this particular backdrop as one, you've got metal, you have ceramic, you have fabric, you have frosted glass, you have wood, you have pressed tin. Texture is still incredibly strong. So you want to make sure for your market that you're adding in a little bit of each to make sure that you touch all of the trends that are available. So look for galvanized metal, look for painted metal, tin press metal, and then also maybe some of those historic pieces that are coming back into popularity. One of the great combinations with red is, of course, white, as we can see. It's a really strong, darker, lighter combination that we see be really popular for the upcoming season. Also, too, some of those non-traditional pieces, sort of like this wood Christmas tree, are being brought in to appeal to some of those younger generation. Some of those tastes tend to go more towards that woodsy, natural look. So we've incorporated a lot of that. Birch, as you can see with the lights here, are still incredibly strong. And then something else that you're going to see a lot of is fur and plaid. Doesn't sound like a great combination, but you're going to see it on a lot of surfaces and used in a lot of different ways. Look for that fabric, fur, and natural pieces that can be combined into your particular market and introduce that for today's generation. As we move through into our second story that we're going to talk about, which is the North Pole and deck the halls. This is sort of a combination. What I want to remind you of for your market experience, along with your trend report, you're going to want to also print out inspiration pages. Now, I found when I went to market, if I went prepared for what I needed for merchandising as well as marketing, printed out on a page, as I shopped from vendor to vendor, then I could price check, do comparison shopping. What do I have to pay here? What's the minimum order here? And see where it best fit my budget and what I had available so that I could stretch that budget to the max. One thing you want to make sure that you never do is don't go to market and just buy things that you like. Remember, you're buying for the consumer. You're buying for your market. So you want to make sure that you get a combination of not just textures, colors, and surfaces, but also styles that fit any sales opportunity that you might have. If you get something that can be manipulated to be either high-end or low-end, then that opens up the numbers of times that you can offer that for sale. So make sure that you shop smart. Go with a list. It's like going to the grocery store. If you go with a list, you tend not to spend so much, and you want to shop smart. Also, don't remember, wear really comfortable shoes. You're going to be on your feet a long time while you're at market, trying to maximize your time there. Carry a bottle of water. Make sure you've got something to make notes on, whether it be a pad of paper, which is very old school, or doing it on your iPad and your iPhone for that younger generation, but just something that you can keep your notes. One of the other places that you want to make sure that you start is a good quality base, wreath, teardrop, garland. If you start with something plain and then add those pieces in, this can be manipulated for any type of sale. When you go with something that already has all the berries, all the flowers, all of the ribbon added into it, yes, it saves time, but it could cost you more, and you are limited as to what those sales opportunities are. So start with a good quality base and then add in your berries, your pine cones, your ribbon, and manipulate that for maximizing the sales. As we move into Deck the Halls, we're going to see the introduction of a lot of plaid, especially the buffalo plaid, which is this one here. That red-white check that comes across as flannel is incredibly popular everywhere. Here it's combined in a preconceived bow that you're able to just use in several different places, in several different ways. Look for things that are going to provide you a good, solid choice to manipulate how it's used, but also having some things that are done like that may save you time, may save you money in the long run because you're not paying for the labor since it's already a finished product. But incorporating some of those traditional pieces like the beautiful red and gold poinsettia that we see here, some of the gold undertones, some of the glass pine cones. Again, it's combining those textures such as glass, fabric, and a shiny green as well as the green of the Christmas tree gives you a lot more interest to market and to be able to use those for all of your social posting. Talk about that to your clients and encourage them to look for a combination of things like this. A lot of people want to just supplement what they already have, so make sure that you're providing a lot of choices for all the generations. As you look around market and see what's available, you're going to see a lot of pieces like you see here in the NAPCO line, which are galvanized, ceramic, glass, fabric. I've talked about that already today, but making sure that you're really looking for it and concentrating on what's available will allow you to have a variety when you get back to your space, whether it's a retail setting or you're an event company. You want to have choices so that you can offer something for everyone that comes in. So make sure that you look for traditional versus something that's new and updated. Something that's a little bit more urban as well as something that's a little bit more elegant. Shop for variety because everyone is going to ask for something a little different. Looking at one of our last stories that we're going to talk about today, which is the North Pole, is the introduction of a lot of bright, vibrant color. This plays to the whimsy side of the holiday. So again, you're not all lodge, you're not all elegance, but you also have to have a variety of things that appeal to the younger generation. Lights, lights, lights. Everyone loves LED lights, and that's incredibly important. But also having some of the beautiful blues, the purples, the greens, the golds, the silvers. We're seeing trending for this season Still strong are metallics. They always are for the holiday, but also for a reduction of glitter, so to speak. You're going to see it in other ways that look like ice, that look like frost, that look like snow. Those have taken over a lot of the glitter aspect, even though a lot of those are created by some of the glittering products that we put on there. But instead of all bright and shiny glitter, we see some of that icy, wintry effect being added into a lot of the pieces. Have some color versus some tradition, having some metallics versus some bright and colorful gives you variety that you can offer to everyone. As we look at the different trends that are available, not just in the NAPCO line, but also trending in market today, again, you've got galvanized, you've got different surfaces, you've got bright and colorful, as well as metallics. Also look for things that will add a little bit of whimsy into something that's a little bit more elegant, like the black and white. You can combine, depending on what your region are and what your sales might be, as well as what your taste are and what your style is. Don't forget, you're shopping for your market, not just your personal taste. So look at things that are going to complement what your style is, that also takes your brand to that next level. Be a leader in your area, not a follower, and reach for all the heights that the season can bring to you. Join us again next time for Design Time. If you'd like a complete copy of the NAPCO Trend Report for 2019-2020 Holiday and Garden, be sure to join us for a webinar on January 30th at 4 p.m. Be sure to look for the NAPCO Trends to be introduced on the NAPCO Facebook page starting next week, which will explore each and every collection and give you all the details to take with you to market.